Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Francesca once again, and how are you all doing today? I trust you're doing well. So today we are going to sew this very beautiful gown, simple but classy and beautiful. Okay, so if you're seeing this channel for the first time, please, I'm begging, I'm on my knees, kindly subscribe and drop that comment. Your comments make me happy. Please drop a comment, a like, a subscription. Just do something so that YouTube can recommend my videos. Okay, thank you very much. So let's get on with it. You start by folding your fabric into two, just like I have done. Now we'll start by getting the length of this gown. The length I work with is 38 inches. Okay, if you want it to be very long, I recommend 38 to 40, because by the time you're done, it's going to still come up a little bit. It's going to reduce a little bit. So I use 38 inches for the length. And now for the neck, I use 3 inches for the length and 3 inches for the width. Okay, then I went ahead to join the lines together. Now the next is to get my shoulder slant by 1 inch. 1 inch shoulder slant. This is because shoulder is not straight. That is why it's always advisable to put the slant. Now my shoulder is 14 divided by 2 is 7, so I'm going to head to mark my 7 inches. Now I'm going to use my straight ruler to rule the slant. That has been done. The next is to get the armhole. The armhole I worked with is 8 inches. I'm going to have to mark the 8 inches, and now I'm going to use my straight ruler to rule a straight line from where the 7 inches shoulder started to where the 8 inches arm length stopped. Now I'm going to curve just like so. You can also use your curve ruler to curve if you want. Now the next is to get my shoulder to my bust point. And shoulder to bust point is 11 inches. I'm going to head to mark a straight line. The next is shoulder to tummy. Shoulder to tummy is 16 inches. I'm going to head to mark that. If you have watched to this point, kindly give it a thumbs up, okay? Or drop a comment. Just do something so that YouTube can recommend my video. So I'm taking my bust circumference. I added extra 2 inches. I'm going to head to mark that. The same thing on the tummy side. I added extra 2 inches. That's your bust circumference divided by 4 and your tummy circumference divided by 4. Now I'm getting my hip length from your tummy to your hip is 8 inches. So you don't need to take it all the way from the shoulder anymore. So I'm gonna head to do that, and I'm gonna head to add the measurement for the hip circumference, and I added extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. So now I'm joining the line together from the arm to the bust line, to the waist or tummy line, and then to the hip line. And then from the hip line all the way straight down to where the length stopped. I'm sorry you can't see the length because this table is small, but I'm going to show you later. Just hang in there, okay? Or hang on. Now it's time to cut. I started from the neck to the arm to the side and then back to the shoulder slant. I don't know why I always forget to cut shoulder slants sometimes. Okay, and then I've had to drag it down a little bit so I can see the full length. So all the way to the hip and then to the length. So I've drawn a straight line for the length. So I'm done cutting. Now the next thing is to cut the back of this dress. I'm not going to be placing the back on this table because the table is quite small and it's really giving me a lot of trouble. But I promise to get a bigger table soon. But for the meantime, I'm going to be using this one till I see money to buy a big table. So I'm going to cut the back of this dress on the floor off camera, okay? So I'm just trimming this. This is just me trimming out this part so that it will look straight, okay? So this is the remaining fabric. I'm going to just do it off camera on the floor. I'll just place the front one on top of it and trace it out. That's it now. Nothing much happened. I just placed it on the folded part and cut it out. The only difference here is that the back neck it came down a little bit while the front neck is high, and then I brought out the zipper allowance. That's it. You already know how to do that. If you don't, you can check all my other pages, you can check all my other videos, you will see it there. So for this one, I'm going to use my bias to pipe the neck of the front and the neck of the back, and that has been done. It has been piped. Okay, it has been piped. That's the front one and the back one as well. The two back, the back is two because of zipper allowance. By the time we add we join our zip now, it will now be one. So this is it. This is the front. And I'm going to be placing the back on top of it, right side facing right side, so that we can bring out our zip allowance and join the gown. So this is that zip allowance that we brought out when we were cutting it. So I'm just using my pin to pin it to identify it. And the reason for this is so that the front and the back dress will be equal. That is why it's always good to bring out the zipper allowance, like to make it, like to just identify it, like just like I'm doing, so that the front and the back dress will be equal. So I'm going to sew that down, but meanwhile let me also pin the shoulders as well. So this is me pinning the shoulder of the dress. And if you have watched this video to this point, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. I'm done with the first shoulder. I'm on the second shoulder right now. That has been done. So I'm going to sew the zipper allowance and the shoulder. But before we do that, let's take our measurements. Remember when we are cutting this dress, the chalk mark was made on the front part of the dress. So I'm repeating it here just so that I will know the exact place to take my measurements. So this is me measuring the bust from shoulder to bust, 11 inches. I've gone ahead to place it. Now I'm going to minus down to 2 inches. That 2 inches I placed there while I was cutting it. Minus, when it's folded and you add 2 inches, it means you're adding 4 inches when you open it. So you remove 2 inches here and remove 2 inches there to get to accurate measurement. Now I'm on the waist side, the waistline. I'm also going to minus 2 inches here and minus 2 inches that other side to get your actual waist size. The same thing with the hip. Now you go ahead and join the line. So this is me marking the hip line, so I'll know where to take my measurement from. Like I said, the measurement, the chalk mark was made on the front part of the dress. That is why I'm repeating it here, because I didn't start taking this shaping from the front. I started from the back. That's why I'm taking it. I'm putting the lines again so that I can get my actual measurement. So now I'm linking the lines together from the bust line to the waistline and to the hip line. So now it's divided by 2 because the dress is no longer on 2 folds. You understand? It's no longer folded. So when you're taking your measurements after you have opened your dress, you only divide by 2, not by 4 this time. Meanwhile, this dress is 3.5 yards of fabric. This is 3.5 yards of fabric. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pin all of it down. So I'm pinning it down. After pinning this side, I'm going to go over to the other side and also pin. This is me pinning the other side. And I continued on this other side. So I'm going to just go to my sewing machine and sew everything. But before I sew it, let me flip it over so that you understand much. Remember that we are sewing a gown with design, right? Now that design, you're going to choose where you want it to start from. Me, I want mine to be on the left. That is why I turned it to the right side, so that I will know where my left side is to avoid mistakes. So I'm unpinning that side now. Now I'm going to sew and stop here. I'm going to sew and stop where my waistline is, on that side, that left side. And then I sew the shoulders, the zipper allowance, and then I sew and stop where that waistline is. Okay, I've gone ahead to sew that. I've closed the sides and the zipper allowance as well. See, I sewed and stopped here because that is where I'm going to, that's where the flay or the fancy is going to be starting from. Now this is the zipper. So I'm just going to identify where my zipper will start from. That's all. And I'll mark. So after marking, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up and stop that place I made my chalk mark. And then I'll go and tighten it, or I'll tack it so that it won't lose when I put the zip. Again, if you have watched this video to this point, oh my God, I love you. I love you so much. Just drop that comment that makes me happy. Please just drop a comment. That comment, I don't know how I feel when I see comments. Like, I feel so happy. I feel like I'm doing something right. Okay, just drop that comment for me. Thank you. So I'm going to loosen this dress and stop where I made that chalk mark. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop right now. And then I'll go and tighten it up in the sewing machine. Then I can attach my zip. I'll tighten it up and attach my zip. Here it is. The zip has been done. Okay, I've also folded the end of the dress, or the edges of the dress. Remember, this one side, the left side, is still open. This is where my flare will be starting from. The flare design, that's where it's going to be starting from. So you can choose the right, you can choose the left. Me, I want it to be at the left. Okay. Now we are going to make our curve mark on this dress, starting from the bottom, just like so, just like what I'm doing now. Start from the down and curve it all the way to where that opening stopped, or where the slit stopped. You can call it a slit, you can call it an opening. Let me call it an opening because I'm still going to close it after everything. So it's not a slit. So this is me curving it with my chalk. This is the front part. After that, I'll go over to the back. I'll turn it to the back side. Not to the wrong side, to the back. Just what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to take the chalk mark as well. Okay. I made this dress under 1 hour. I'm telling you, 1 hour. I was done. Very simple. So this is me, also doing the same thing I did in the front to the back. Taking that curve. And that's it. I'm sorry this dress is so busy, but I believe you can still see the chalk a little bit. Now this is what is left of the fabric. Remember, this is a 3.5 meters of fabric. Now I've folded into 2. That's the first folding and the second folding, which is 4 actually. This is 4 now. It's 2 times folding. This is 4. Then I folded the 3rd time, making it 6, because I want the flare to actually be very full. Okay, so this is 6 times folding, but it's 3 times folding times 2. That's 6. Now by taking our measurement of the line we just created, so you're going to take your measurement from where the line started all the way to the back. So this is me taking my measurements. I'm just following the chalk mark. So I did notice that the whole tape finished and it was still remaining. Okay, because I really want it to come up high. I just exactly where my waist started from. So I'm going ahead to mark the chalk. Now I'm going to use the tape to check how many inches are remaining. I checked and it's 7 inches. Now remember that tape, after that 60 inches, there's another free space there, exactly that free space. So I added 1 more inch on that free space. So instead of making it 7 inches, I made it 8 inches instead. So now that is 68 inches. Okay. So I'm going to use, I wanted to fold again, but I said no, let me just continue with the 3 folds I did. So now 68 inches divided by, I divided it by 4 instead of divided by 6. If you divide it by 6, it will be 13 inches, but I divided by 4 because I want the flare to be very full. That means I want it to be very, very long. So by the time I gather it, it will be very full. So 68 inches divided by 4 is 17 inches. So this is me marking 17 inches. Just you curve your ruler, your tape. You curve your tape, okay? Like this, and get your 17 inches. I'm going to head to make that cone shape. Now the length of this flare is 10 inches. I want it to be 10 inches. You can make yours 11 inches if you want. Just depends on what you want, but 10 inches is the ideal length. It's always the ideal length, 10 inches. So this is me marking 10 inches from beginning to the end of the flay, and I've gone ahead to join with a straight line, a curvy straight line. Okay, this is me making sure that the whole 10 inches are complete. Now I'm cutting the first part. Oh, this fabric is so beautiful, very, very beautiful. I got it from Aba, from my vendor in Aba. Then I'm going to cut this other one. Cutting. If you have watched to this point, thank you so much. I love you very much. If you haven't dropped a comment, please drop. If you haven't liked, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. So I'm done cutting it now. Let me open it up to see. So I'm going to open one side of it. I made a mistake opening the two sides. I should just open just one. So after I opened it up, I realized that they are now two different flay. So I'm just going to join one side to create a long flay. Okay, so this other end is open, the other end is open, making it two flay, and I want it to just be one. So I'm just going to sew here. I'm going to just sew this place, close it up, so that it will just be one very long flay. That has been done. Now is one. You can see how long it is. That is if you want yours to be very full. I want mine to be very full. Okay, I'm going to sew a straight line now from beginning to the end of this flay, and then I drag it to form. This is it. I'm going to have to drag it to form a gather. And the end, I first of all, before doing that, I first use my bias to pipe the down, because if you don't do that first, when you finish gathering it, it will not be difficult, but it might be a little difficult than when you didn't gather it yet. It will take more time, not difficult, it will take more time. So it's better you just pipe that end or fold it or do whatever you want to do before gathering it. Now it's time to place it on our gown. So this is the gown, this is the back side. I'm going to start, I'll be starting from the back side. You can start from the front side, you can start from where your hand was, or whether it's your right or left hand was able to allow you start from first. Let me put it that way. So it was the back side I was able to start from first. Okay, so I'm just making the chalk more visible again, so I'll know where to pin. Okay, now this is right side facing right side. That's how I'm going to attach the flay. Right side facing right side. Okay, this is the right side, so it should face the right side. This is it now. Okay, this is the right side facing right side. I'm going to take it like this and pin them all the way around. So this is me pinning it all the way around. You can pin yours all the way around before sewing, but I was pinning and pinning. I got to a point I stopped, but I believe you've understood what I'm doing. So now I'm going to sew it round, following that chalk line. You follow the chalk. If you are pinning it, you're going to be following the chalk line to pin, even to the other side, to the front part as well. And this is it, guys. This is it. I've sewn it around just the way I did the chalk mark. Now remember that there were two openings, but the two ends, the end it's opened. So this is it now. Now I'm going to teach you how to close it up. So you're going to turn it to the wrong side. You're also going to turn your dress to the wrong side. And these are the two openings. or the two rough edges. So you hold it together and sew it down and close it up. Then the open parts, you attach it to your dress as well. Attach it to your dress. Make sure it's equal, so that you end up making mistake. And then the open parts, the open slit, remember it's still open, we have not closed it. That's what I'm looking for now. And this is it. I found the two sides, the two of them. So I'm going to hold it together. I'm going to hold it together now and close it. We follow that line, that chalk line we did when we were shaping it, and take it all the way down. That's it, guys. This cloth is very simple, very simple. And for the shoulder, remember I did 7 inches. That's 7 times 2, 14. But because I want it to be a sleeveless, I'm going to, trim it more. I'm going to reduce it to 3 inches. Because if you don't, it's going to be looking like it's a small sleeve, as if you attached a small sleeve. And I don't want it to have sleeve, so I'm going to just reduce it to 3 inches. And then I'll use my bias to, pipe it as well. 3 inches here, 3 inches on this other side. And then with my scissors, I'm going to cut it off. This is me cutting it off. I'll cut the first part and I cut the second part. Yes, that has been done. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine now and pipe the two of them. And this is it, guys. Oh my god, this dress is so beautiful. Came out really perfect. I didn't put that on this dress and it's still fine, so that is not always compulsory, but you can do that if you want, but I did not do that. So this is that open part. See, I've closed it. You see that I've closed it now. So this is it, guys. It's really simple and fine. Within 1 hour, I was able to cut this dress and sew it. Honestly, my husband was even like, no, I don't finish clothes. That was fast. Oh my god. So guys, I really appreciate you all for following me, for staying put, for supporting this little tiny channel of mine. Thank you very much. I appreciate. And this is me wearing it, guys. Oh, this is so beautiful. And I got a matching earring. Look at that. I got a matching earring to go with it. So I'm wearing the earring to match with the dress. I can even use yellow, I can use white, I can use orange. Oh, this is beautiful. Now look at the full gown. Look at that, Cinderella. This is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. This is nice. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all your love, your support, your kindness, your kind words. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Guess what I'm sewing next? Thank you for watching, guys. Bye. It's in the happen. Kilo day. Take am easy, Biko. Bye, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.